welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on programming. We're going to demystify coding by breaking it all down into just 3 simple, powerful ideas. And honestly, by the end of this, you'll see the logic behind pretty much every app, game, and website you use.
So, you ever been playing a game or scrolling through an app and just stopped and wondered, how does this actually work? You know? How does it remember my score or load a new level? It can seem like total magic, right? But it's really not.
The big secret is that all of that amazing, complex stuff is built from super simple, step-by-step instructions. Seriously, think of it like a recipe. You can't just tell an oven to bake a cake. Nope. You have to give it every single little step in the perfect order. Coding is exactly the same idea.
Okay, let's make this even clearer. Imagine you had to teach a robot to make a sandwich. You can't just say, hey, make me a sandwich. It would just stand there. A computer needs every single tiny step broken down. Pick up slice 1. Now pick up slice 2. Get the jar. Open the jar. Every tiny action has to be its own command. Programmers have to think in this super specific way.
So today, I'm handing you the official Programmer's Toolkit. And the best part? It only has 3 fundamental tools inside. But with these 3 tools, you'll have the logic to build literally anything you can imagine. These are the building blocks for everything. Come on, let's open it up.
So, our very first tool is something called a variable. I love to call these the memory boxes of code. This is how a program remembers anything at all. Your health points in a game, your username, how many things are in your shopping cart, all of it. And the concept is just beautifully simple. A variable is nothing more than a labeled box. You give the box a name, like score, and then you pop a piece of information inside it, like the number 0. Later on, your code can peek inside the box, or even swap out what's inside. That's it. That's the whole idea.
And check out how universal this is. It doesn't matter if you're using visual blocks in Scratch or typing in Python or JavaScript, the idea is exactly the same. You're creating a box called score, and you're putting a 0 inside. Yeah, the words and symbols change a little, but the core logic, it never does.
All right, time to grab our second tool, the loop. This is kind of the programmer's secret weapon for being lazy in a smart way. Its whole job is to handle repetitive stuff so you don't have to.
Just imagine you wanted an enemy in a game to walk back and forth 100 times. You wouldn't want to write move left, move right 100 times in a row, would you? No way. A loop lets you write that instruction just once and then tell the computer, hey, do this 100 times. It saves so much time and keeps your code from getting messy.
And here we go again. Look how this one idea shows up in different languages. Scratch makes it super obvious with a repeat 5 times block. Python and JavaScript might look a little more intimidating, but they are doing the exact same thing, setting up an instruction to run 5 times. It's the same tool, just a different handle. And that brings us to the third and final tool in our starter kit, the conditional. This is what gives our programs a brain. It's how they can make decisions and react to different things that happen.
The logic here is something you use in your own life all day, every day. If it's raining, then I'll grab an umbrella. If I'm hungry, then I'll get a snack. Code uses this exact same if-then way of thinking to make choices. It just checks if something is true, and if it is, it does a specific action.
And you guessed it, we see that same incredible consistency. Block or text, the logic is identical. If the number in our score box is bigger than 10, then do something. Maybe pop up a you win message. This is the heart of all decision-making in code.
Okay, so you've got the whole toolkit. Variables to remember things, loops to repeat things, and conditionals to decide things. Now for the really cool part. Let's see how they all snap together to make something actually work. This is where the magic happens.
So I'm going to throw a little piece of code up on the screen. It uses all 3 of our new tools. I want you to take a second, look at it, and see if you can follow the logic, and guess what it's going to do. You ready for this?
Okay, there it is. We've got a variable named counter. We've got a loop that's going to run 5 times, and we've got a conditional that checks the value of that counter. Just try to walk through it in your head. What happens the first time? The second time?
So, let's break it down. The counter variable starts at 1. The first time through the loop, 1 is less than 3, so it says keep going. Then it adds 1. The second time the counter is 2, which is still less than 3, so we get another keep going. But on that third time, and the fourth, and the fifth, the counter is no longer less than 3, so it switches to saying almost there. See how these 3 simple tools work together to create something that changes as it runs? It's awesome. And just like that, you've totally done it. You now understand the fundamental building blocks of pretty much all software. I'm serious. Every incredibly complex program out there is just a clever combination of these three simple ideas stacked on top of each other in creative ways.
So let's just do a quick recap of your new toolkit. You've got variables, your memory boxes, you've got loops, your automatic repeaters, and you've got conditionals, your powerful decision makers. That's really the core of it all. So where do you go from here? Well, the best way to learn is to actually do. Hop on a site like Scratch and just start snapping those blocks together to see what happens. Or check out the incredible tutorials on code.org. The key is to just start building something, anything, no matter how small.
And please remember this. Every single person who's ever written code, from the folks who built the biggest games in the world to the person who programmed your car's dashboard, every one of them started with zero knowledge. They all started with these exact same first steps.
So, that really just leaves us with one final and very exciting question. You now have the fundamental toolkit of a creator, of a builder, of a problem solver. The only question left is, what are you going to build first?